How's it going, everyone? Welcome to a brand new project on my channel. I was trying to figure out how can I play Magic the Gathering on YouTube, and it sort of dawned on me. You see, I enjoy playing Magic the Gathering, and I also enjoy playing role-playing games. So what would happen if I combine both elements into the same idea? A game where I roleplay, but the only way that I can defend myself in the roleplay is with Magic the Gathering cards. And you know what? It was a lot of fun. I actually had a blast doing that. Now, I know not everyone knows how to play Magic the Gathering, and that's fine. As I make these videos, at the beginning of each video, I will explain a little bit of the rules as we proceed. I'm not going to dump all the rules on you all at once. I'm just only going to explain the rules of what's happening in the video. This way you don't feel like you're being overloaded with rules, you kind of understand what's going on in the video, and you'll just have a much easier time enjoying it. So, before we jump into it, here are some of the rules of what you'll be seeing happening in the video. Each turn has a few parts, but don't worry, they flow nicely. First, untap any cards that were turned sideways, also known as tapped. Tapped cards are used cards. They need to be untapped so you can use them again this turn. Nothing major. This step is known as the upkeep step. Nothing major here for now. Some cards have effects that trigger here, but you can usually just keep going. After your upkeep is the draw step. Draw one card from your deck and add it to your hand. Next, you're going to want to play a land. Look in your hand for a card with the land type. You're allowed to play one land per turn. Lands are your main source of mana, which is the magical juice you use to cast spells and summon creatures. Each land can be tapped, turned sideways, to give you one mana of a specific color. Every card, except lands, has a mana cost in the top right corner. To cast a card, make sure you have enough lands. Tap them to match the mana cost, put the card onto the battlefield or into effect if it's a one-time spell. Now here's the important thing. You can't just play as many cards as you want. You're limited to how much mana you can generate that turn. You get one land per turn, so pace yourself and plan ahead. Once your turn starts again, everything resets. Untap, draw, then you can go wild. Now that's going to be all the rules for right now. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed from all of the rules, so I'm trying not to dump all of them on you at once. One final thing before we jump into this. Make sure you leave a like on this video. I want to do something kind of fun. Every like that this video gets, I'm going to actually have that represent a creature that will be spawned in next video that will try to attack my forces. So, the more likes this video reaches, the more creatures are going to get spawned in the next video and I'll have to defend myself. Yeah, I can't see this backfiring on me at all. No, this is going to be fun. Now, the deck I'm going to be playing with is a vampire deck. So, for the roleplay of this story, I'm going to be the villain. I'm a vampire lord, and I am really excited for all of you to see what has unfolded so far. And without further ado, let's jump into this.
Then, you are the shadow creeping through the veil, the hunger in the dark. This story will bend to your crimson will. Hashar, your role. You are an ambitious vampire lord, freshly risen or long buried, seeking power over a land on the brink of ruin. The sun grows dim, the people whisper of omens, and you're here to thrive in the decay. The land of Varelen, once bathed in eternal twilight, now teeters on the edge of collapse. The great city-states have fallen. The holy orders have fled or turned to heresy. Rumors spread of a forgotten crypt deep in the woods of Harrowmore, sealed with silver chains and prayers. Tonight, the chains have broken. A raven calls, fog rolls in. You awaken in a cold, crumbling tomb beneath a ruined chapel, damp with centuries of rot. The world above has forgotten your name, but soon they will remember. Begin your turn, Dark One. Tell me what land you play, what creatures you summon, if any, and what your intent is for this first night of unholy freedom.
Alright, I'm going to begin by drawing my hand. Okay. This is a good hand. I'm going to play a swamp. I'm going to tap it so that I can play a creature. As for my action, I'm going to exit the tomb beneath the ruined chapel and take a look outside. Get a feel of the world that has forgotten my name.
You place a swamp on the cracked floor of your tomb, drawing mana from the ancient roots of the land. The ground groans as you call forth the vicious conquistador, armor blackened with centuries of dust, eyes glowing like embers in the mist. He stands at your side, silent and motionless like a sword unsheathed but not yet swung. He is ambitious, tireless, and utterly ruthless, ideal for the frontier. Viceroy Elia Sotonoris, report to the Queen. Yes, ideal indeed, for a frontier where the dead walk and ambition drinks deeply from the veins of the living. You ascend the crumbling stone steps of the ruined chapel. Ivy curls down the walls like skeletal fingers. Moonlight filters through a shattered stained glass window, painting blood-colored halos across your path. The air outside is thick with damp fog. The scent of wet leaves and something older, earthier, clings to your senses. The land is quiet, but not peaceful. To your left, a narrow, overgrown path leads into the Harrow Moor Forest, a place spoken of only in dread. To your right, the silhouette of a village, faint torchlight flickering in windows. The name is long forgotten, scratched from the map, but life still clings there. Straight ahead, a stone bridge crosses a black river, where a lone figure stands motionless under the moon. And behind you, the chapel's crypt door creaks slightly, as if something else stirs below. What will you do next, Dark Lord? Approach the figure on the bridge, investigate the village, venture into the forest, return to the crypt, or something else entirely? Declare your path, and I'll draw your fate.
Alright, I have a few options. I'm going to upkeep, and then I'm going to play a plains, and then I'm going to tap the plains and swamp to play a creature that gives my vampires that I control a +1/+1. I'm going to go investigate the village. I want to see if I notice any of the people walking around, or how many homes there are, how many buildings, what kind of things do I see?
Ah, a plains now graces your hand, its purity twisted to your purpose. The holy becomes unholy as you tap into it and the swamp to summon your loyal legion lieutenant. A proud vampire knight, blade drawn and eyes burning with solemn zeal. He steps forward beside the conquistador, armor gleaming like bone under moonlight, his voice a whisper of forgotten vows. We long ago abandoned the things that make humans weak. Friendship, marriage, family. All that remains is the strength of our devotion. With his presence, your other vampires swell with power. The conquistador's muscles tighten, his thirst sharpened. Your army grows, small but potent, like the first few drops of blood before the slaughter. You head toward the village. The village lies nestled at the edge of the Harrow Moor Forest, fog curling around crooked fences and leaning houses. Moss clings to cobblestones. You hear the occasional creak of wood, the drip of water from eaves, and far off, the mournful bark of a dog that no longer remembers why it barks. You count about 9 buildings, though some sag into ruin. A small chapel stands at the village center, mirroring the one you left. A tavern, its sign swinging loosely, glows dimly from within. There's a well nearby, old and deep. A blacksmith's shop is shuttered, its forge long cold. The houses are small, perhaps once cozy, now weary. There are no people on the street, but you see faint light in 2 homes and the tavern. Shadows move behind the curtains. You hear a quiet click, a door bolt sliding into place, as if someone has just noticed your presence. The air holds fear. Your creatures stand behind you, poised. You may enter the tavern, boldly or stealthily, knock or force your way into a home, investigate the well, wait and watch for who stirs, command your creatures to patrol or intimidate, or something else entirely. What will the vampire lord do next under this quiet, shivering moon?
I'm going to upkeep, draw. I am going to play my Forsaken Sanctuary, but it comes in tapped. And then I'm going to tap into the Plains and Swamp to play another creature. I'm going to go into the tavern to investigate, sort of get the vibe of who's there, and ask for questions about where I'm at, what year is it, things like that. Try to get as much information about this world that I have awoken in.
You lay down the forsaken sanctuary, its stone and silence radiating a broken holiness. In the galleon's grand cathedral, conquistadors swore vows of faith. In its wreckage, they swore vows of revenge. A holy place once, now just yours. It enters tapped, but its presence feels like a memorial to what you've lost, or what you're about to reclaim with blood. Creature summon. You tap Plains and Swamp and summon the famished paladin, a grim figure in cracked plate mail. He rides no steed but walks with the solemn, relentless pace of one bound by both thirst and duty. Loyal to his queen, slave to his thirst. He does not untap easily, no, but where there is life gained, he rises, like a corpse clawing from a crypt. You push open the creaking tavern door. Inside, the air is thick with smoke, not from fire, but from incense. The scent is sweet and wrong, like flowers at a funeral. A few heads turn. There are 3 people here. 1, the barkeep, pale, wide-eyed, scrubbing the same glass repeatedly, though it's already clean. 2, a middle-aged woman in a traveling cloak, nursing a glass of dark liquid. She watches you with quiet calculation. 3, a young man at a corner table with ink-stained fingers, frantically writing in a leather-bound journal. They look scared, but not surprised. The barkeep stammers first. Gods, you're dressed like the old knights. Are you? No, you can't be. That was centuries ago. The woman speaks, voice cold and curious. You're not from this age, are you? She sets her glass down. It is the year 891 by the reckoning of Thorn. The last of the great cities fell 5 winters past. This land is ruled by House Malarin, or what's left of it. Plague took the king, and the Church of the Sun has withdrawn, leaving us to rot. She eyes your armor, your pale skin, your blade. You're not the first to rise this year, but you might be the most articulate. The young man mutters, the blood moon rises more frequently now. The veil thins. They say the dead are walking, and worse, they say the woods breathe. The barkeep just whispers, please, don't take anyone from here. We've done nothing wrong. You may question them further, e.g. about the plague, House Malarin, the church. Threaten or manipulate them. Ask if anyone has been missing or behaving strangely. Ask about the crypt, forest, or figure on the bridge. Feed, or leave and pursue another thread. How does the villain proceed?
Alright, I'm going to untap, then I'm going to draw. I am going to play a Plains. I am going to then ask my 3 vampires to enter the tavern, and I tell the barkeeper and everyone in the village that I will be taking over this village and all who live in it. We shall rebuild to create a more impressive kingdom, and that all who live in my kingdom will not be harmed, but all who live outside the kingdom will serve as food for my vampires. I then tell the people, you humans may live in this kingdom, free from harm, but you will serve, and in return you shall be kept safe, and under my rule you will never know what it is like to go hungry, to never know what it is like to be afraid ever again.
The light of another cursed dawn slips past your grave dust eyelashes. You place a second Plains, spreading the foundation of your false sanctity. Your kingdom grows like rot beneath gold leaf scripture. Vampire procession. With a sweep of your cloak and a gesture carved from blood magic, your loyal undead enter the tavern. Vicious conquistador flanks left, posture sharp, eyes scanning for defiance. Legion lieutenant moves with regal calm, each bootstep echoing ancient doctrine. Famished paladin, freshly risen from thirst-induced torpor, slides in behind you like a blade in the dark, silent but undeniable. They take up positions beside and behind you. No weapons drawn, not yet. The barkeep drops the glass. It shatters at his feet. The journalist stops writing mid-sentence. The woman in the cloak raises an eyebrow, but otherwise remains calm. Declaration of rule. Your voice fills the room, not loud, but absolute. I will be taking over this village. All who live within it shall be spared. We shall rebuild it, not as a memory, but as a throne. Under my reign you shall not hunger, you shall not fear. But those outside, those who shun our cause, they will feed the future. Serve and be safe. Resist and be remembered, briefly. The barkeep drops to his knees. Please, yes, my lord, anything. Just keep the children safe. The woman smiles faintly. She raises her glass in a mocking toast. Well spoken. A tyrant with manners. That's new. Then quieter. You may wish to visit the chapel. The priest kept records of others like you, and of something buried deeper. The scribe stares at you wide-eyed, whispering, You'll need a name. The people will whisper one, whether you like it or not. The village holds its breath. You are no longer a stranger. You are the storm. You may now visit the chapel, as suggested. Command your vampires to scout or secure buildings. Begin rebuilding or appointing mortal roles, spy, builder, feeder. Feed. Send a message beyond the village or demand tribute from outsiders. Explore outside the village for threats or expansions. What is your next decree, O King of Twilight?
I'm going to draw. I'm going to play a swamp. I am then going to ask the humans, and including my 3 vampires, to start rebuilding the buildings that are already existing, to kind of like reconstruction to begin, and to start constructing a wall, a temporary wall around the village to keep intruders and invaders out. And I'm going to head out to the chapel, as suggested, to look into these matters, while at the same time I'm going to tell my 3 vampires to keep their defenses up, just in case something is to happen. They are to defend themselves.
Another swamp seeps into your empire like spilled blood into thirsty soil. The land remembers you now. Your voice cuts through the tavern haze like a scythe through chaff. Go, door to door. Tell them to rise and work, for stone, for kingdom, for survival. Let it be known. The walls shall rise before the moon reaches its zenith, and if trouble finds us, bite back. Your 3 vampires nod in grim loyalty and exit the tavern into the pale daylight. Vicious conquistador kicks a door off its hinges, growling orders in a forgotten tongue. Legion Lieutenant speaks with the terrifying grace of a fallen knight, inspiring obedience through sheer presence. Famished paladin, sluggish at first, finds a dribble of blood on a splintered banister. He licks it and stands taller. He now walks with purpose, knows barking orders like a noble-turned drill sergeant. Within minutes, villagers emerge, timid, confused, but moving. They begin repairing roofs, shoring foundations, and marking a rough circle around the village for the future wall. Journey to the chapel. You step out alone and approach the ruined chapel, the structure looming like a skeletal hand clawing skyward. The stained glass is cracked, but one image still shows clearly, a black sun over a silver crown. Inside, the air is thick with dust and old incense. The altar has collapsed, but behind it, hidden behind a panel of rotting wood, you find a staircase spiraling downward. Your footfalls echo into the dark until you reach the crypt archive, a room carved in stone, lined with iron-bound books, wooden coffins, and chains bolted into walls. One coffin lid lies ajar. You find a journal, bound in pale leather. Its first page reads, "If you are reading this, I have failed to destroy them, the first brood. I pray none rise again, but if they do, know that one has gone east into the mountains. The others, scattered, hidden, but never dead. And the worst of them, the one they called, Velkarin. He swore he would not just feed, he would reign." Beneath the name, a sketch, a vampire clad in armor like obsidian fire, a reflection of yourself? No, different, stronger, older. Smiling meanwhile, outside villagers work. Your vampires patrol. The wind howls softly, but from the northern edge of the forest, something watches. A flash of silver, The growl of something not quite wolf. The war is not here yet, but is sniffing the edges of your claim.